It's being recorded right now?
Yeah, it's being recorded right now.
All right. All right, everybody. Welcome to You Are Not Normal with TONYMONT. I got a special guest for you guys today. Miss Kayla.
Up?
Kayla Tellefson. You got to wait till I introduce you. You can't say what's up
this
in the
This is my first time.
On any podcast, on mic, on
I didn't even know
camera.
I was doing this today.
Yeah. There's a problem we have here, and it's a Midwest issue where I refer to myself in the plural tense. Mm-hmm. Like if we are sitting at my house and you ask like, what is there to drink? I'll say, we got sparkling water, we got wine, or we got something.
Yeah.
But we means me.
Right.
Right? So then today when I said...
confusing.
Yeah. Today when I can see how that's confusing. It's a weird way to speak, but that's just how we speak where I come from. Mm-hmm. But today when I said we are doing a podcast, you assumed we meant
I thought
me.
I was going to be witnessing.
Right. But you're actually on the podcast.
I see that now.
All right. So I'll be more clear next time. So this is Kayla.
But you could try.
This is one of my best friends in Raleigh and also my personal assistant, right?
Yeah.
And that's something we definitely want to chat about today. I'm sure people
sure?
are interested in what it's like to be TONYMONT's personal assistant. So give me just like it can be good, bad, ugly.
Are you sure?
Yeah, absolutely. We don't hide anything on this podcast.
It's not bad. You just have me running around doing all the things that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Dealing with speeding tickets.
That's a personal assistant. Yeah.
Yeah. Dealing with all of your Amazon returns. I am now a personal chef, which I was not expecting. Mm-hmm. That part you don't like about it.
No, you're doing a great job. Uh-huh. You do the meal prep. You return a bunch of stuff for me. You get on the phone with companies I don't want to talk to.
Mm-hmm. Cancel all of your subscriptions that you've had for years
subscriptions
that you
I
don't want anymore.
And then, the speeding ticket thing. So I did get a speeding ticket a couple months ago. And I said, Kayla, take care of this.
Deal with this. Yeah.
Deal with this because I don't
That's
have...
my favorite. When you just say, I'm going to be gone for a week. Please handle all of these things.
Jump into that, Kayla. What's your perspective? Like, your side, not Tony's side. Like, if you get something, it's an ask from Tony. How is it delivered? What does it look like? Is it a text? Is it an email?
It's typically a text that says, I don't want to deal with this or have this done before I get home. And last time you said that, I had to set up the entire spa room in your home. And it's a bunch of heavy equipment that I didn't know what to do with. So I had to hire people to help me, which worked out good. But yeah, it's usually a vague text without much description on what I have to do. And I just have to figure it out.
Yeah, but you do a great job of it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm a visionary. I just don't, like, there's some things I want, but I don't have the time, energy, or knowledge to get it done.
Yeah.
Right.
How do you jump into a speeding ticket? How do you take care of that? Like, where do you start?
Well, I had a speeding ticket, so I knew what to do. We just hired a lawyer. I forget what it was called, like Law 11 or something, but they pretty much just go and represent you and then handle it for you. You don't have to go to your court hearing or anything. So
yeah, and they actually got it dropped down to a non-moving violation of like 3 days ago.
Yeah. No, I just have to remember to pay the court costs.
Yeah, when that's available. But it's like, for me, like, in all seriousness, like, I could get really stressed out with all, like, I would have never taken care of that ticket. I would have just, it would have just
went to jail.
It would have just sat there for months until it was last minute, and then I would have panicked.
Then you would have really freaked out on it.
Or I would have had to, like, go to court or something. It would have been a nightmare. Right. But it's just because I'm busy. I got a million things going on. So to be able to be like, all right, I got a ticket, no big deal. Can you please
give it to Kayla?
Can you please take care of this? And you take care of it. It's a huge help for me. Like, I've never had an assistant, but it's, as I get busier and busier, and it's much needed, right? So, like, how are you? Well, let me ask
handling the pressure.
How, like, do you ever feel like pressured, or that I'm like an asshole or like what's your
Let's review your boss here
let's
on YouTube.
give me a review.
I mean, it's fine. I feel like I know that when you're a little snarky sometimes to just ignore it and don't take it personal and just try to do what I have to do correctly the first time so
Yeah.
I don't get beat up.
Don't say that on YouTube. People are gonna take
Sorry,
that literally.
just a joke. Just a joke.
But yeah, I mean, I get frustrated sometimes, not with you, but just with everything. And sometimes you get, a phone call where I'm just venting to you or text messages I'm venting to you about something. And I think you have a great personality to deal with me because, I'm not being mean. I'm just like, I just need to get all this out.
It's just who you are.
It's just who I am on the inside. And I gotta get it out. You realize I'm just venting. You just let me do it. And then you're like, all right, now what do we got to do?
What's next?
So one of the
overall, not bad.
Okay, not bad. What a great review. Let's talk about, so there was one instance, right? I think this is going to be a fun story for the listeners. And this is definitely going to be chopped up and made into reels because it's a wild story. So I needed new furniture, right? Mm-hmm. And
after you had just got new furniture.
Yes, but I needed new furniture. Mm-hmm. And I like to go furniture shopping seems like a nightmare for me. So I asked you to help go furniture shopping with me. Now, to preface this story, 7 months ago, I was on Bumble, a dating app, and somebody had screenshotted my profile and put it on this Facebook group, right? What's the Facebook group called?
The Facebook group, I'm not supposed to talk about it. I'm going to get kicked out of the group.
Talk about it.
Anyways, it's called Are We Dating the Same Guy, Raleigh, North Carolina.
All right.
And Tony may or may not be a frequent flyer.
Yes. But not because not because I'm cheating on anybody.
No.
Not because I'm a predator or I'm abusive or anything.
It's honestly never anything bad. It's just that
people take screenshots of my profile. It's happened 3 or 4 times. And then it's usually some type of bullshit where they're saying this guy's lying about his age or
that's a big
that's
one.
a hot topic.
No one believes that you are 40 years old.
Right, which is makes me feel great. It's not that they think I'm 40, they think I'm 50. So I've been on this, it's been like an ongoing joke with us. Like we joke about it. And so that's the backstory that you need to know. The audience needs to know before we get into this story. So it's been an ongoing thing. I'm on this Facebook group all the time. We look at the comments sometimes because you're on the group. I'm not allowed on there because I'm a dude, I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So you've seen the comments. We joke about them. We talk about them. And then 6 months later, me and you find ourselves furniture shopping. And we go to a couple places in Raleigh. I'm not a very patient shopper. So we go to one place. They didn't have exactly what I wanted. We go to another place, which is an expensive, nicer place.
Very
right?
nice place, yeah.
And we go in there. We might have been in there an hour or less, right?
Yeah.
Why don't you tell the story of what happened when we walked in the door?
I mean, nothing crazy. We just went to see some furniture. A young lady helped us pick out a couple things, and we made our choices and left the place. I mean, nothing happened, really.
Right. It was
very status quo, furniture shopping.
So we walked in. I saw a couch to my left. I sat on it. I said, this one's fine. And I said, Kayla, can you pick out the fabric and get it delivered and pay for it and all that, right?
Right.
And I just went and sat on another chair and I just started messing on my phone because I didn't want to deal with anything.
And I handled the rest of
it,
yes.
So we're in there for 40 minutes, right? Kayla goes and helps pick out all the fabrics. She handles the paperwork, the delivery. I walk over there. They say, all right, it's X amount. Expensive for a couch and a coffee table, which I'm only saying that because this goes into the story later. Yeah. So then I sign off on everything. We leave. That was it. And then 2 weeks later, we're out to dinner with a friend of mine, and I start joking about this Facebook group, and I'm telling my buddy Derek, and he's laughing about it. I'm like, Kayla, pull up some of the comments. And then Kayla says, well, I didn't want to tell you this because I knew you'd get mad.
Your reaction. I didn't know if you would get mad. So then I didn't want to bring it up.
What do you tell me at that point?
So the girl that helped us purchase the couch and the furniture decided to look you up in that group and post about us, saying that people should stay away from you because I'm your long-term girlfriend, and because you refer to things as us and we, like that probably is what painted the picture. And she, what did she say?
She said
just that you spent a bunch of money and that you were referring to things as us and we, and that people should stay away from you
because you're my long-term polyamorous girlfriend, right?
Yes.
So this was, and this was the woman who helped us,
This
right?
is the woman that helped us, yeah.
Yeah.
Who
So
we didn't even talk to.
We didn't even really talk to that
Yeah.
much. I couldn't have picked her out of a lineup, to be honest with you. But it goes back to the story where I say we a lot. And as we're in there and we're shopping, I'm like, how much room do we got in the living room? How much of this? When can we get it delivered? Like I'm referring to we, but it was really me.
Right.
And then we just pay and leave. And this psychopath goes and finds me on a group, which is
like a really old post too.
From
so she
months and
went
months ago.
digging,
right?
And the only reason I saw it was because when I opened my Facebook, your face popped up. And
I'm sure you love that.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, I don't see you enough as it is.
So just to be clear, you're not my long-term polyamorous girlfriend.
I'm not.
Right.
For the people listening.
And we don't live together.
No.
Okay. So this woman posts all this stuff about me, and then people are commenting below it. It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
And
it's a feeding frenzy.
It's a feeding frenzy.
Your posts are very
My posts
popular.
usually get like 100 comments.
At least,
right?
yeah.
And some girls are like, are nice. I remember you showed me a comment where a girl said, oh, Tony came into my restaurant. I served him. He didn't tip. He was the biggest asshole. And that was all fabricated. Have I ever been an asshole to a server?
I have not experienced you.
Yeah, I'm very nice to servers. I tip well, all that stuff. So there's a lot of false information out there.
Is that what this podcast
As we
is
know.
about?
As we know. So
Hearing Tony's name, and are we dating the same?
You got to get on mic, Kayla.
Oh,
so,
I'm sorry.
So anyway, so I see all this and I'm like, I'm dumbfounded at first, but then secondly, I'm like, I did spend a lot of money on this. Let me put it into perspective without saying a number, but the first car I bought when I was driving the furniture was 3 times as expensive as the first car I bought at 16. So it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And all I did was walk into a place and buy a piece of furniture. And after I read everything and I was like, man, this person is really talking some shit about me.
Yeah,
and people
got
were
a little personal, about the finances and stuff. It was just very unprofessional.
Yeah, and the finances, and then people were finding me on Instagram and DMing me. It was really wild.
Yeah.
And
I got brought into it. I don't want to be brought into this.
Which is the straw that broke the camel's back. Because before, when everybody was talking shit, you didn't care.
Well, I wanted to stay out of it.
Yeah, because you didn't want to get found out. But now that Kayla's found out, now it's a problem. Now we want to hire lawyers and sue people. So
none of that happened.
So
I handled it in a professional manner.
So then we come up with this plan of I'm like, fuck it. Let's just cancel the order. If these people don't like me.
There was no way that I was going furniture shopping with you again, so that wasn't an option.
So I'm like, cancel the order. If these guys don't like my business, I don't want to do business with them. So you sent a nice email. What did the email say? You sent it to the owner, right?
I sent the owner an email just explaining the situation and sending her screenshots of her like talking about us for no reason when this woman didn't know us from anyone. We literally walked into her place of work to buy something, and she probably got she was supposed to get a lot of money from that. So.
Yeah, I think they make like 10% commissions or something.
Yeah.
So, or more. No, I think it was more. Somebody told me a number, and it was a lot. Yeah, she lost like probably $1,500.
Well, yeah, that's how much we got.
Yeah.
Refunded.
So the owner responds to you, and she says
she was horrified.
Horrified,
she was
right?
Humiliated.
What still baffles me to this day about this story is the salesperson didn't get fired.
No.
She kept her job.
From what we know.
Yeah, she might be fired now.
She might be fired now. I don't. They had to do like a meeting in the office for everyone to learn how to act on social media.
Yeah, she got put on probation, right?
She got put on probation.
So that was another funny. And then they gave me a discount, free delivery, all this stuff, and the owner's
free delivery. We got a refund for a whole bunch of money.
Yeah, like the refund paid for the coffee table, I think. And then the owner's like, if Tony ever needs anything, please tell him to come in, just deal with me personally, all that. What I think is funny too is when you had to call the furniture store and the saleswoman answered, and what did you say on the phone?
I said, can I please talk to anyone else?
Can I please talk to anyone else but you?
She was like, oh, why? I was like, hi, this is Kayla for Tony Montalbano's order. And she was like, oh, whoa, okay.
Yeah. So she ended up getting put on probation. And then we started acting out like what the meeting went like, right? Like, did the owner
humiliating.
Yeah, like did the owner pull up like what she was posting on Facebook
This is what
groups?
not to do at your place of work.
And then just the other image was like, a nice email from another salesperson that said like, hey, thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
And if I can ever help you with anything else, you're a pleasure to do business with and all that. And then hers was like, this customer has a polyamorous long-term girlfriend. Stay away from him. And it's like, it's psychotic, right?
It was insane.
Yeah.
It just didn't make sense at all.
Yeah. So, I mean, that goes into, it's one of the rapid fire questions that showed up on Instagram. The question got into like specifics, but it was like, how do you, can you respond to basically trolls or like negative social media stuff, right? Where people are talking about you, stuff that isn't true. I mean, you put yourself out there in the public, it's a given that it's going to happen, right? It's always a shock, though. And I think the first time it happened to me was when I was going through my murder trial. And I was reading comments online of people who are like, this guy deserves to fry, give him the death penalty. Oh, and then there was another time where, I'll tell you two quick stories, where people were taking the stand about what happened that night. And there was a innocent bystander there that night that I didn't remember being there, but he took the stand at my trial. And in front of everybody, the judge, me, the jury, he made up this story. He said, Tony got in his car. He backed up over a median. He almost hit 3 people I was with. I had to dive and save these 3 people from Tony running him over. He squealed off. He peeled off. He was going to leave the parking lot, and the cops stopped him. And everybody else, me included, everybody, even the other side, the state, all their witnesses, everybody said, Tony calmly got in his car, pulled out, and went to leave, saw cop cars, pulled back in, pulled in the parking spot, got out and put his hands up. Right. But this guy makes this whole story up. And I remember when he was saying it on the stand, I was like, these are the people that deserve to be in jail.
Yeah.
Like, this guy I'm facing life in prison, and this guy is taking that opportunity to, like, put a light on himself.
Yeah, like try to be involved.
Like what a narcissist,
yeah,
right?
That's crazy.
That's crazy. And there was another juror where we were, picking a jury. And a juror, like as they're cross-examining the jurors, one guy stands up and he goes, "I've read everything. I know exactly what happened that night. Tony should get the death penalty." And I was like, geez, like that's harsh. This guy doesn't know me. He doesn't know what happened. And the media was putting out false information constantly.
Well, I remember you told me that you spoke with someone from the media and she completely twisted around like you said to her.
Yeah, it was the night I got out and I was at my dad's and we had the family and friends over. We had pizzas and we weren't I don't want to say we were celebrating, but we were just spending time together. And I got 2 calls that night. One was from my cousin in jail, they actually they emptied a cell for me thinking I was going to go to jail that night. So I got to talk to him and all these dudes in the tier that I was locked up with, and I knew some of them, and they were all like, congratulating me and happy for me. And then the other call I got was a reporter who got my cell phone number somehow. And she said, "Do you have anything you want to say?" And I was like, I don't want to be on record saying anything. I'm just spending time with my family tonight. Thanks. And I hung the phone up. And then on the news that night, she got on the news and said, "I just got off the phone with Tony Montalbano. He said justice was served," and hung the phone up. And I was like, I didn't say that. It was crazy. Yeah. So I've known media's bullshit and people bullshit just to make themselves look better for a long time. There was another guy who I read all the police reports, and there was this guy known forever. I played football with him. He worked at the same gym I did, and he wrote in a police report for my, like, as a character witness of me for the state. Never had a problem with this guy. Whatever. We played football together. He wrote this long police report about me saying, like, I was doing steroids, selling steroids. I was a menace in the gym. I was always angry, starting fights. None of it was true. Never touched a steroid in my life.
You're like the calmest person that I know.
Yeah, never. Most of the time. Never did a steroid, never sold a steroid, never, was mad at anybody in the gym ever. But he wrote all this stuff about me, and I'm like, what is he getting out of this? Did he have something against me I never knew about? Yeah. Or was he just trying to shine a light on himself? It's like, it's sociopathic or something. And I think it's the same thing we get on social media where, there's, and I don't get a ton of it. I've had like maybe 2 or 3 experiences. One was a guy that, remember the original one who was harassing me in my DMs and I had to block him?
Can we talk about that?
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I don't want you got the DM.
Yeah, this guy was, so I used to say, I think it was, who was the original person that called me Dispo Daddy? It was Ryan Overcash. I was on a podcast with him, and he introduces me as, "We got Tony Mont here, the Dispo Daddy." And I was like, oh, that's fun. So I tell Gio, I'm like, let's run with this on social media. It'd be fun. Well, when you look like me, and you
had
say,
the mustache going strong that time too.
And when you look like me and you say daddy and hashtag Dispo Daddy enough every day on Instagram, you're going to get in a weird algorithm on there, right? When you're a hairy dude, when you're a hairy, muscular dude and say daddy a lot on Instagram, you get in a weird algorithm.
Place.
Yeah, like as we speak, I have almost 11,000 followers. I bet 4,000 of those followers are from the Dispo Daddy era that have no idea what I do or benefit at all from me, but they all used to DM me.
They like looking at you.
They like looking at me, which God bless them. But I used to get weird DMs, and there was one guy who literally on every single post and every reel he would comment something, and it started getting really creepy. And he DM'd me one time where it was like over the top. It might have been the one where he said, "I wish you were my uncle," which is weird. It's a weird thing to say. I wish you were my uncle. That has layers of creepiness. Yeah. And I block him because I'm like, wow, this is just too much. Poor Gio's reading all my DMs. He's got to see all this. Yeah. It was getting a little out of hand, so I block him. And he finds me on Facebook, and his next message on Facebook was, "Please give me another chance,"
Oh my God.
which is wild.
As if you gave him a first one.
Yeah. So I guess the point being, there's
You're a
always
popular guy.
there's always going to be people out there that you don't know what their intentions are. You don't know how they truly feel about you, or how they feel about themselves. And you got to realize, I learned a valuable lesson with all this stuff. And recently, I finally realized that no matter what anybody says or does anymore on social media, whatever, I realize it is their problem, not mine. Yeah. And what I think is fun, like banter back and forth and talking a little shit, like some people aren't trying to have fun. Like they're trying to either hurt you or fill some void of themselves.
Yeah, or get some kind of attention or something.
Get some type of attention. And I'm very laid back. Like I don't take anything too personal or serious usually. So I always think it's just fun or funny. But I realize other people don't feel that way. So I'm not responding to any more negativity on there. If somebody is talking about me on there, it's whatever. It's like, I just want everybody to be happy. And here's the thing. If you start putting out that negativity all the time, you're going to attract more of it. And more people are going to be negative because they're getting a reaction out of you. But I think stoicism, which is something I've read a lot about and try to be, that's one area of social media where I just got to take my principles and use them in social media as well. But it's hard because you're always trying to be entertaining and stir the pot and have fun. But stoicism, I think, is the way to go. So we've learned a lesson with all of this, I think, here today. Right?
Don't go in public.
Don't go in public. Yeah, stay sequestered and
hide yourself.
Buy everything on Amazon. You don't gotta go. Why sit on a couch before you buy it? Just buy it on Amazon. Yeah. Let them tell you what the best deal is.
It's not safe out there.
Yeah, it isn't. No. But anyway, I just want everybody to know how much I appreciate you.
Aw, thank you.
I will say that, Kayla we went on a date. That's how we met, right? Years ago. Yeah. You're one of the first people I met in Raleigh. The date didn't take, so we became friends.
Okay.
And I think, we've stayed really close over the last couple of years, and to have you, working with me has been a true blessing. And without you, I think I would have taken my own life a long time ago. So thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Glad to be of assistance.
Is there assistance? I like how you said that. You are my assistance. Is there any closing statements you want the audience to know?
Not
Do you want to
really.
send them to your Etsy store, maybe?
Sure. If anyone's looking to give any gifts this Mother's Day, you can go to my Etsy store. It's called Real Cute Gifts Co. And I do personalized stuff like journals and jewelry and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Is it personalizedgift.co or just co?
No, it's Real Cute Gifts Co. on Etsy. So it'd be etsy.com.
Oh, gotcha.
Etsy.com/realcute.
I guess I've never been on Etsy, so I didn't know how it worked.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, if you guys need gifts, go there. Thank you, Kayla, for joining me on the podcast. And we'll see everybody at the top.
So much fun.